The next topic we want to discuss with you today is choosing the right plan for you. There's many different options out there. Is a copay plan right for you or right for you and your family? Or do you want to look at a high deductible health plan in conjunction with a health savings account? Many people often are attracted to the high deductible health plan or an HSA based on the price they see, but a lot of times the salesperson or the insurance carrier, when they call and ask about that plan that's being offered, are told, oh, you don't want that plan, it doesn't have doctor's visits and prescriptions. So we want to address the logic of whether that's the right solution for you. Now, as you would have a copay plan, and most people are used to this type offering, it has unlimited copays at $15 or $30, so $15 to your primary and $30 to your specialist. You might have a $75 copay to an urgent care and a $150 copay to an emergency room. So that might be what you would know as or recognize as being a traditional copay plan. The next thing that you should understand when looking at a copay plan is as you understand your risk, then you understand the difference between the cost associated with that plan, then we would look at an HSA plan or a high deductible health plan. So in looking at that high deductible health plan, you want to understand that prior to meeting your deductible, you're responsible for paying for those doctor's visits and prescriptions, but they are applied to your deductible. Now, if you have a $5,000 deductible on an HSA plan, or you have a $4,500 risk exposure, deductible and coinsurance, on a copay plan, your risk is relatively the same. So be mindful of the cost associated with those different plans and understand and realize that if you choose the copay plan and you feel as if you're a healthy person, often you are prepaying for those doctor's visits and you're prepaying for those prescriptions whether you use them or not. So be mindful of that. One of the key components and great things that came out of healthcare reform is that all of our preventative coverage is covered at 100%, meaning your annual physical, and if you're a female, that includes your mammogram and your pap smear, as well as all of your blood screenings and so forth that are associated with that annual physical. For children up to the age of 18, that includes your immunizations as well. Now, so when we're looking at a high deductible health plan, there's also a very strong benefit to being able to have one of these plans, and that is because you're able to open what's called a health savings account. This can often be confused by people who had often or before worked for a company that offered a flex spending account. One of the things that you should understand is these are not the same. An HSA account is much like an IRA in that respect. You are allowed as an individual to contribute $3,050 to your own individual HSA account this year. Whatever money you put in there at the end of the year, that money is going to come straight off your gross adjusted income. As a family this year, it's $6,050. The IRS tends to elevate that amount slightly on an annual basis. The next aspect and benefit of being on an HSA or having a health savings account is that you've reduced your expenses and overall premium costs for your actual health insurance. So when you look at the different options that are afforded to you, you're looking at copay plans and you're looking at the costs associated with the HSA plans. They're often 2/3 or at least half the cost of a copay plan. The next aspect that you want to consider is that there is no use it or lose it provision. Just like an IRA, this money is compounding and earning interest. And so we want you to understand that this is your money, and if you need or are looking for better ways to save for your retirement, this is a great tool to have. Most financial advisors would agree with us in that statement. This also allows you to take control of your medical spending. And when John comes up next, he will explain to you more about how copay plans work, how prescriptions work, and how you are paying as you go instead of prepaying for these things. And when you're paying as you go, you're getting to use tax-free money for these things. Now, in addition to that, most banks offer HSA accounts today, and you probably never even noticed it. So when you log on to your bank account online, you might see in the upper right-hand corner, open an HSA account today. We often recommend opening an HSA account where you bank primarily. The flexibility that's offered from your primary bank account is that you can open an account, an HSA account, for as little as $25. They will give you a debit card. So if and when you actually have medical expenses, many of these things such as glasses, dental work, copays, all of these things are able to be paid for using your HSA tax-free dollars. So we encourage you to look at the risk, look at the savings, and then understand what the benefits are to opening an HSA account. Over 94% of our clients are on an HSA plan. It's important that you understand there is no ulterior motive other than to help you save money, spend less, and get better value from your offerings. So stay tuned to the next segment in which we're going to further explain how doctors' copays work, how prescriptions work, when you have a high deductible health plan, or when you're on a traditional copay plan. Thanks so much and stay tuned.